Viernes y sábado solo pensaba en ti. No falta el trago para desearme buena suerte y voy directo a conquistarte, aunque sé que puede.
All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday afternoon H5c in your community. We have an exciting afternoon, always giving you tips and updates about what's going on in business at the Hispanic Contra Costa Chamber of Commerce, and we have a few guests with us today. Johnny, I didn't get to. It's our first.
It's our first show together.
Yay! Have you heard me give you a hard time about how I say you're never here when I'm here?
No, no one's mentioned that.
Missed it out.
I missed
so,
that. Oh,
so I
wow.
usually say, okay, I'm here again, and Johnny's not here. He must be avoiding me.
It must be fate then that we came together today.
Yes, so I'm excited. It's first than that. And we have some awesome guests with us today, Vanity and Alex Ayala of Ayala Property Maintenance. And we're going to learn a little bit about what their business is about and get to know them on today's show.
Great.
Good afternoon.
Great. Awesome.
Honored to be
Awesome.
here.
Excellent. You know, before we start the show off, let's talk a little bit. You know, let's get personal. How was your weekend, Liz? Let's start with you.
Start with me. I always have a hard time remembering when it's Tuesday. I have to really dig into the file cabinet of my brain for the weekend. It was good. It was Father's Day weekend.
Oh, yes,
it was
Father's
a very
Day.
good weekend. Saturday I had my relaxing day, and then on Sunday we went wine tasting with the family. So that was really
Ooh,
awesome.
nice.
An awesome example of people in their 80s rocking out and dancing at Behringer, and it was inspiring. It was really inspiring. My dad had a great time. It was they had a blues band
Ooh, nice.
playing for the weekend and had a picnic, and just driving around. So it was a great weekend.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. How about you guys?
Well, mine was full of relaxation, is the way I like it. Breakfast in bed and got
Ooh.
to sleep in and play with the kids. The kids love Amtrak, going to the train station. So
Oh,
it's,
nice.
really awesome. And Martinez.
Did you take the train outside of Martinez, like to a destination, or you just went to Amtrak?
No,
and-
we just like to watch and got to kind of see the scenery.
Okay.
Really-
And then, of course, there's the
really great
waterfront
experience.
park over there, so you can play at the park over
Exactly,
there as well.
Exactly. One thing I didn't actually notice, that I did notice when I was there, that they actually have I-beams from the World Trade Center right there in front of the
Really? I
location. So it
did
was
not know
pretty
that.
awesome. I got some pictures, photos with my sons, and
Excellent. Hey, happy Father's Day to you.
thank you. Same to you.
Great. Awesome.
Vanity, we want to assume that you enjoyed the same things that Alex did. So
I'm sure Mother's Day was a few months ago, and I'm sure
maybe
there was a
there's
lot
different-
more.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a
Legwork, make
different
sure I was,
highlight of the weekend that you enjoyed.
I did enjoy the weekend, and the husband felt special, so it was great. The little boys did a lot of fun stuff for Daddy, made some cute cards, and they had a nice little thing that they did at school for Daddy, and they answered questions, and my oldest son seems to think that Daddy is 6 feet tall and 13 inches.
He's not.
And a superhero.
14 pounds, yes.
And
That was his response, 14
I
pounds.
guess if you're that tall, you got to make up for it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
It's all compliments. How about you, Johnny?
Well, it was definitely a great Father's Day. You know, my little girl surprised me with this little coffee mug that she had a drawing that she made of me, and she says, "I'm sorry, Daddy, but I made you a little fat." And I said, "No, that's okay. You know, that it's the thought that counts." And then my little boy gave me a little picture present. He was dressed up in a mask and said, dads are super, and kind of like a superhero thing. And so that was great. And later that evening, I went with my in-laws to a nice Italian restaurant down in Hayward.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very, very relaxing. I can't remember too much afterwards because of the wine.
The food
One
coma and
food
the
coma,
wine.
wine, one reason or another, and no, it was a great day and a great weekend. Thank you.
Good.
All right.
Good. Looks
Yeah.
like a lot of family time and enjoying being out.
And that's one thing that I always make sure people in business take time to spend with their family, because why are they in business? Because it's for their family. So always spend time with the family.
Yeah, remembering your why is important for sure. Why you started down a path, sometimes we can lose sight of that as we get going and get busy, and a lot of achievement mentality, and definitely good to remember the why.
Good to remember. And speaking of why, we have a day in history, and this is a really big, important why for American history and why we are here.
Yes.
Anybody know what happened in history on this date?
Not I,
Take a
but
guess?
I'm
Any
really
guess?
excited that I have you as part of the team and that you come up with awesome ideas because I'm not the history buff, and when I read them, it really inspires me. So
You know what?
I did that.
And I'm not a history buff myself, but thanks to history.com,
That's
I can
awesome.
get great information.
Love it. Leverage.
So on this day, on June 17th in 1885, the Statue of Liberty arrived on a boat. Like it physically came from a different place, and according to this article in history, and again we got this from history.com. On this day in 1885, the dismantled Statue of Liberty, a gift of friendship from the people of France to the people of America, arrives in New York Harbor after being shipped across the Atlantic Ocean in 350 individual pieces, impact over 200 cases. So basically, they made it over there in France and assembled it in America. So it's made in America.
Amazing.
Yeah, you can still put that stamp on it, right?
One thing that's, and the why is what I wanted to get to, because there's a famous saying on the bottom: give me your tired, give me your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. And this is the reason why a lot of people are here in this country, is because they want to be free to do what they want to, of course, to the confines of the law of the United States. But we have such great freedom here that we can run our own business, choose whatever destiny we want, choose wherever we want to live. And this is, speaking of why, this is why a lot of people live the way they do.
Yeah, something that I totally agree. Something that caught my attention as I was reading the article was that the journey of how long things take us and how we might forget the why because of time. When we get started, just like in business, as I've said before, the French actually expected to have the statue finished in 1976. So
Wow.
it was 1885 before we even started unpacking it as a gift in the U.S., but they didn't even dedicate it or inaugurate it until 1886. So that's a decade that it took. 10 years from when they expected it to be completed to when it arrived, and just not losing sight of the journey along the way, because sometimes things take a little longer, and when you get busy working on other things while it gets done or while you get to something, we can definitely lose sight of the why.
I can imagine the patience level of the folks back in the days when they had to wait
Right.
for something to arrive.
Right.
Nowadays, it's like, how come it hasn't arrived yet?
Yeah.
It's been 5 minutes.
It's tracking.
So we text
Let me
you
look
if
it
you
up
don't
online.
respond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, FedEx, where is it now?
Where's it at right now?
So that's a great, history bit. And, for a lot of people, it is their why, to be free. And this is why we're here. So thank you for the country of France for this gift. And thank you, U.S., for putting it together and putting it up on New York Harbor.
Merci beaucoup, friends.
Merci beaucoup.
I like it.
I can remember one thing or two. Yeah, no, that's a very cool story. And how many pieces? It reminds me of the gondolas.
350 pieces.
All right.
It's amazing,
Wow.
amazing.
Good.
So we have a business tip, because we're a chamber of commerce in Contra Costa County. We have a business tip, and we actually have 10 tips today to share. And we're going to touch base on a few and then probably go into commercial in a few moments. But this is 10 ways to show love to your customers. Besides giving them a nice big hug or a
Might not
nice
be too
gift,
into that.
there's a lot. Some people are not the touchy-feely people. Some people love to do the get over here, big hug. There's other ways to do it.
And you don't always get to interact with them live, which is another big thing. So
Mm-hmm.
how can you keep it personal with the tools that we have today? So we talked about patience. We move fast through social media and different
Mm-hmm.
ways of getting in touch, but that you can still be personal. So one of those tips is to listen to them with the right tools. And kind of what stuck to me with that is to really know where your customers are or where you want to focus on connecting with them. There are so many mediums we can get overwhelmed easily, and it's important to know where are your customers or where are they, so that you can connect with them in the right location, in the right medium.
Right. And this is a great example because you have a virtual business, so your clients is all over the place. You can't
Exactly.
physically touch them,
Exactly.
but you can electronically.
When you said that about giving them a hug, I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. With most of them, yeah,
Virtual hug.
virtually. So I love getting a high five on Voxer as one of the tools that I use.
Oh, there you go.
With a voice on accountability with my clients, that these are my commitments, and we celebrate together on audio. So yeah,
Nice,
you
nice.
you have to leverage those tools for sure.
And on the flip side, because you're in property maintenance, you're more interactive with your customers in the local area.
Right.
So, a good way to show love is to do things locally for them.
Right. Yeah, definitely sending a follow-up email and thanks.
Follow-up emails, maybe a gift card here and there.
Showing love to our community through charities.
Through charities. That's a big thing as well.
Just staying in touch. I mean, the Hispanic Chamber, welcomed us to the ribbon cutting. I mean, that's something that we're trying to give back to the community.
Great.
Concord has showed us so much love that we're trying to give back.
Excellent.
I
Excellent.
love that you mentioned gift cards and then charity, because that was one of the thoughts is knowing who your customers, in order to express love to your customers, you got to know more about them, where they are, what they value. So one client comes to mind that I know he refers a lot of business to me, but he's very altruistic in nature. So it's not the same thing to give him a gift card to Starbucks or what have you, than to maybe say, hey, I'll match a donation up to whatever amount to one of your charities. So it's really important
That's a great idea.
to know what your customers value, because it's not just for the sake of doing it, but it's not even the amount, it's the personal touch that you know who they are and what motivates them and what they appreciate.
Right. It also depends on the industry. Like for me, for instance, in the insurance and the financial industry, giving gifts is actually not a good thing.
That's right.
Because it can entice people to conflict of interest. It can influence a decision. So in the financial industry, it's actually not a very good thing to give a gift or a monetary gift. However, the charity portion, that's a great example.
Yeah, and being thoughtful, right?
And being thoughtful.
Another one of those tips is remembering dates and things, even if it's a small note, even if it's through social media or an email. The fact that it's personal, and in the world of autoresponders and automated blasts, it means a lot when you get a special note from someone of saying, hey, happy birthday or happy anniversary to your business. I'm glad 5 years and counting, whatever it may be. So remembering those special dates that you can share.
Right. And at this time, I think we need to take a little break, but just a quick reference, this business tip of the week is from bizjournals.com, and it's under tips, top 10 ways to show love to your customers. So we'll be right back with this after this quick commercial break.
¿Pensando en regresar a la escuela? Descubre la gama de posibilidades que te ofrece la Universidad John F. Kennedy, que celebra 50 años de transformar vidas y comunidades.
Puedes completar tu título de licenciatura en negocios, estudios jurídicos, salud pública, periodismo y psicología, o tus estudios de posgrado. Tenemos becas y ayuda financiera para que apliques este verano y otoño. Contamos con asesores de admisión que hablan español y están disponibles para guiarle a través del proceso de tu solicitud.
Para más información visita www.jfku.edu o llame al 1-800-696-5358. ¿Necesitas asesoramiento con respecto a un caso de inmigración? Nos especializamos en todas las áreas del derecho migratorio. ¿Quieres conseguir tu estadía legal en el país? Solo hay una cosa por hacer. Llama al 415-777-4445. www.kpblawyers.com. Son tus abogados de confianza. Llama al 415-777-4445. Con oficinas en San José, San Francisco, Walnut Creek, Santa Rosa, Napa, Ucaya y Sacramento.
Are you in deportation proceedings? Do you have a friend in jail facing deportation? If the answer is yes, we will find the best avenue for you to obtain legal status in the United States. Contact Karosky, Purvis, and Bogue at 415-777-4445 or www.kpblawyers.com.
haga visto. Voy a seguir tus pasos por el mundo.
All right, welcome back. We were dancing and we made everybody sit down. It's like everybody settle down. We're back. To
It's healthy to move and dance. You know, especially when you sit down, 8 hours a day, especially the office job. I work in an office job, and gosh, I want to stand up all the time.
Speaking of moving, so I have my jacket on, but I'm a new Fitbit person.
Oh, there you go.
This week, so I'd seen more of these as I'm out networking with. Yesterday, I met with a business owner, and I'm like, hey, you have a Fitbit, and so we friended each other on Fitbit.
10,000 steps.
Yes. That's my first badge that I'm going for.
Good.
So awesome. Yes, it's good to move. So we were on the topic of 10 ways to show your customers love, and we kind of touched on knowing where to find them because there's so many ways. So where are your customers? How can you be personal to them even through technology, if you will, because we live in an age of technology. So one way to get away from technology is?
Let's start handwriting notes to each other. Back in the days, that's how people did business. And, I think that's a missing art these days, is a little short personal thank you note or short personal, hey, how are you note, maybe a little.
It does mean a lot. You take the extra time to make it personal to the customer. I like that.
Do you remember, either of you, the last time that you received a
Yeah.
handwritten note?
Yeah. No.
Not too long ago, actually. I received it from a gentleman by the name of Stephen Lesher of the Shell Corporation. He's the public affairs director up
Rings a
there.
bell.
And sent me a personal note because, the chamber helped supported their modernization efforts in the Martinez refinery. So,
Awesome.
And he thanked me for that. So.
Yeah, see, it becomes memorable. You become memorable for sure. I'll admit, I can't really recall the last time I received a business handwritten note, but I can't pull it out of my memory drawer, but a personal note, even if it's not the holidays, right? Even then they're printed now, mass distribution.
Yeah.
But I did receive one in the last 2 weeks from a friend, and it really means a lot, and it warms my heart when I get a handwritten note of some type that they took the time to do it, and it was one sentence long. That was it, but it meant a lot. It meant a lot. So that's an important one. Taking it back to the basics, how we connect with people, both in writing and in person. Sometimes.
I actually still do that in my business. In the insurance world, everything is so automated, and it comes in like this. So when I'm communicating either with my agents or with my clients, I'll attach that piece of letter and put a little sticky note. Thank you, or let me know if you have any questions, or it was a pleasure. Something personal that's handwritten always can be spotted versus typeset, and it just
And
gets
something that
ignored.
was sent out to who knows how many.
Exactly.
I like it.
Makes it legible,
Mhm.
but
Right.
you're still letting them know that you took the time to think about them.
Right.
And I tend to think that most of the time we and it's something that I promote with my clients a lot. And when we're out networking, right, we do a lot of that in the chamber and amongst our weekly activities. You get the awesome question of, oh, what do you do? And I'm personally over that. I like to get to know the person a little bit more. You want to know, and you'll find out because we will remember people more.
Yes.
So pictures. So as you're sharing and collaborating with your customers, one way to show them love is through pictures.
That's one of the best things about pictures is that, when the picture gets on board the chamber Facebook page, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to sit there and tag every single one of you.
Right.
And that's how it
Watch
gets
out.
personal now.
Watch
Watch out. And even if your head's kind of to the side, oh, there you go. There's Alex right there.
Yeah. No, I love it, and it's fun. And
It is.
I even learned to laugh at. I have some good photographer friends that will catch you in action, making the non-posed face pictures. They're
Candid.
so cool too. I'm like, hey, you got to roll with it. It's all part of building that people relationship in our quirks.
And part of that, with the whole tagging part, and especially the pictures, it gives the social media juice.
Yes.
Because once you start tagging one person, guess what? The whole network is starting to look at that picture.
Right.
And it's not. And if you have 3 or 4 or more people all tagged, guess what? The whole entire network is watching you.
Right.
Because it's going to show up on their timeline. They're going to be like, "Ooh, you look nice in a suit."
Yeah, yeah, and I think it builds some trust,
And
right?
builds
when
trust.
they see people
Exactly.
collaborating and you know so and so. So Ayala Property Maintenance, what type of social media venues do you guys use?
Right now we have a Facebook page. We also have Twitter and LinkedIn.
Okay,
So we're
very good.
We're still beginners. We're
Right.
working on it.
Well, it's good
Hey,
to there's
It's a good
lot.
start.
Yeah,
There's a lot of them, and you can definitely get overwhelmed.
Right.
Yes, and you can be deliberate. And if there is a need for your business with that social media juice, there's a need, and your audience can be in so many of the different forums, then you can always lean on a team. You
Right.
know, that was part of my goal in the first quarter, and I actually didn't complete it until second quarter. But lean on a team. The more that you get to invest time doing your craft, whatever your business is, the better you're going to get at it. I wholeheartedly believe that. So the more that you can logically fold into a team, that's not my strength. I can do it. We're all intelligent beings. I believe we can learn to do pretty much anything. We own a business, but it's not always our best place to be focusing our time when it's not our strength. So lean on a team.
I know a lot of people tend to be the one-man show, but leaning on a team definitely makes you go beyond that one-man show level.
Right.
Yeah, and when you have a strategy in place, one thing I really like about connecting via social media is you can have a strategy in place that logically makes sense with what you want your customers to know about your business, what you're up to, that type of thing. And if you are the social person, if you like the people connection, then you can jump in there as well and say, hey, I'm doing this with this client, or I'm talking to such, so you can still be a part of it, and it's important for you to still be a part of it while still leveraging some.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. So, what's another way to show love to your customers? We got a few more points.
Yes, a few more. So an important one when you're out networking, hopefully we are listening more than we're talking, or at least just as much, so that we can really pay attention to what people need. I'll always ask people that I meet when we have one-to-ones is, how can I help you in your business? It's an important question. I want to know, I might not be able to have business for them, or for whatever reason, the timing, I might not be in the same type of client group, but you can always listen to what people need. And if I could provide an introduction to someone for what they need, that's really cool. People appreciate you, and they'll still remember you. You'll build relationship with that other business owner or that individual by providing a quality introduction. So that really requires some listening.
And that's a great point, and that's one of the main aspects or functions of the chamber is providing these events so you can be there and be introduced to somebody that you may be able to potentially do business with. Of course, you're going to be meeting a lot of different people, and they might not be in the market right now to buy your product or service, but later on down the line they may know somebody that might need your product or service. So that one important introduction can be very crucial. And especially in a networking event. So that's why I always encourage any new members to definitely attend as many chamber events as you can. That way the chamber members can get to know you, and that they can do the proper introduction later on down the line.
Right.
Yeah, that's key. I'm happy to say I've always had someone be very welcoming, and even when it's the first time, hey, you should meet so and so. So it means a lot, and the chamber members do go out of their way to provide suggestions and all of that. So that's good.
That's
I absolutely agree to that. Johnny was nice enough to introduce us to the mayor, and every time we go to an event, everybody's starting to know us by name. So it's wonderful. It's a great experience.
Yeah, they get to know the name through the face of social media and all of that. Awesome. Well, one other way, we see people, we don't always have the ability to interact live, but another way to connect with people that share or listen differently. Some of us are good at reading. Some of us like to read blogs, that type of thing. Some of us want to see 3 bullets. I'm a high D. My strengths, I want to get right to the point, like
1, 2,
get
3,
to it.
boom.
I'm an activator. So to the point, but videos another way that if someone has the time and they want to see what you're up to, you can shoot a quick video with your business tips, or any way that you can integrate it and deliver it in different mediums to your businesses. Do any of you use video?
I actually was a recipient of a video, and it was a happy birthday video from a person. And I'm like, wow, that was pretty cool.
Talk about exponential sending love.
Exactly.
I like it.
I didn't know that person. that was the funny part. But it was special. It was special, but it was definitely a way to connect. Now I know the person very fairly well on the profile, but that's what social media is all about, is get to know the other person on the other side. And if it can get personal as far as a video or a picture is concerned, so be it.
Yeah, they will definitely. I think we tend to remember people's faces before we remember the business, right?
Yes.
That happens to me all the time,
Right.
and I'm not too embarrassed to say I remember your face. Where have I seen you? And I'll ask again. But we definitely tend to remember people's faces before we get to the point of being really clear on what people do.
Right.
Absolutely.
And lastly, make them say wow. How can you make them say wow? Just do what you can to encourage them, to help them, to provide them service. And when you do that, they're going to say, wow, this is a stand-up guy, this is a stand-up girl. I don't know about stand-up. There's another term there.
Gal.
Outstanding gal. You know, you get your praises right after, after you do the work.
Yes, I definitely customizing. I don't know. How do you feel you deliver the wow in your business?
I think part of our wow is our one-stop shop service for property managers.
Right.
I think
The convenience of it to have all the services in one, rather than having to deal with X amount of businesses to get the painting and the drywall repairs and all that. We put it all in one. So that's kind of our wow factor, just going in.
Good.
He's also really good at, explaining things to the customer. So I think he's gotten a lot of wow from that. Customers are really surprised with how professional he is and how much he explains what he's doing rather than just, I'm here to do it, it's done.
Here to do it, collecting a check, thank you.
The communication.
It's more
Communication,
on a personal
the
level,
respect,
yeah.
the personality helps.
Right.
And in our next segment, we're going to talk more about what you guys do specifically at APM, and go from there. So at this time, we're going to be taking another commercial break, and we'll be right back. And lastly, we want to thank John F. Kennedy University as Radio Fusion Latina's sponsor for this coming month.
¿Pensando en regresar a la escuela? Descubre la gama de posibilidades que te ofrece la Universidad John F. Kennedy, que celebra 50 años de transformar vidas y comunidades.
Puedes completar tu título de licenciatura en negocios, estudios jurídicos, salud pública, periodismo y psicología, o tus estudios de posgrado. Tenemos becas y ayuda financiera para que apliques este verano y otoño. Contamos con asesores de admisión que hablan español y están disponibles para guiarle a través del proceso de tu solicitud.
Para más información visita www.jfku.edu o llame al 1-800-696-5358. ¿Necesitas asesoramiento con respecto a un caso de inmigración? Nos especializamos en todas las áreas del derecho migratorio. ¿Quieres conseguir tu estadía legal en el país? Solo hay una cosa por hacer. Llama al 415-777-4445. www.kpblawyers.com. Son tus abogados de confianza. Llama al 415-777-4445. Con oficinas en San José, San Francisco, Walnut Creek, Santa Rosa, Napa, Ucaya y Sacramento.
Are you in deportation proceedings? Do you have a friend in jail facing deportation? If the answer is yes, we will find the best avenue for you to obtain legal status in the United States. Contact Karosky, Purvis, and Bogue at 415-777-4445 or www.kpblawyers.com.
Contemplas mi dolor, melodías vagan sin tener hogar. en tus besos sin verdad.
Welcome back. So we started to ask Ayala Property Maintenance a little bit about their business and kind of as we were going over the 10 tips, but we want to know a little bit more. So how long have you been a member of the chamber? Let's start with that.
We're actually getting ready to sign up, and we're looking forward to all of the wonderful events. There's so many more events on their calendar, and so we've definitely been interested in joining and getting more involved with the community.
Excellent,
Exciting.
excellent.
Though we have been welcomed, so
Yes,
as members
very
already,
welcome.
so we're
Yeah.
You know-
excited.
One
Excited.
thing that you're gonna find out about the Hispanic Chamber, and I'm sorry for the shameless plug out there, even though I'm the president. But before I became president, they were always outreaching. You know, they always came to But when I was new, they're like, "Oh, what do you do?" And next thing you know, we're having conversation. Then next thing you know, we're getting introduced, and that's the way I approach my during my presidency and every new member is because I got treated very well in the beginning. This is what I'm going to do for the new members that come in, and hopefully they feel like familia.
Right.
It's a great example for sure. And I would
Absolutely.
agree
Yes.
completely.
And it stands out. It stands out.
1,000%.
It
Oh,
does.
Yes.
thank you.
Makes a big difference.
Thank you.
It really
Yes.
does.
So tell me a little bit about yourselves. What are your backgrounds? What did you do before APM?
Well, I got a little over 12 years in construction experience. I started off laying floors and did that for a little over 5 years. Of course, the economy took a dive, as we all know. And after that, I kind of just sprouted out and got into property maintenance. And from there is where I kind of started building up the idea as far as I was in charge of scheduling all the vendors that come in and do these turnovers. And I realized, it's kind of a headache, using everybody or calling everybody and scheduling and trying to keep it all together anyways. So from there, I kind of went to commercial plumbing, and well, here we are now. We kind of put our powers together, and yeah, I'll let you go ahead and.
And my background is in, business. I've always been in a leadership role or team lead or assistant supervisor.
Right.
And then I became a stay-at-home mom. And once my boys both hit school, I figured there was no reason for me to sit at home and not do anything. So I enrolled in school. I just
Excellent.
earned my associates in business management, and I'm going back for a bachelor's in business entrepreneurship.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you,
awesome.
thank you.
That's awesome.
It's exciting. It's very exciting, and I like that we felt that there was a need to have all of our services put into one for property managers because there's really no other company like that around that's local to Concord.
Right.
And so, like you said, we combined our powers and made a business.
Yes.
But
What
I
a
would-
team.
Yes, yes.
Powerful one.
And though
the
she's
powers, I like
kind of pretty humble about her role at home, she's a super mom as well. So just wanted to throw that out there.
There you go.
She definitely stays
Promotion, we
busy.
allow it.
Definitely stay-
I can tell you two are going to be very successful because of the dynamics on how you two work with each other.
Thank you.
And
you.
that's a great thing for a couple to move forward with, and I wish you both the best of luck. So tell me, APM, in a nutshell, you're looking to turn over properties for renters, rentals
to make
and
the whole
landlords
process easier, right?
to make the whole process easier. So you
Have
cover
it moving ready.
have it moving ready. So basically, when a tenant moves out, it kind of looks messed up, and we all know some of them don't even clean afterwards. So you'll go in and do what?
Well, we have a checklist. We'll come in and take a look at the outlet, say, any damages that was done, say, hanging pictures. Sometimes we don't realize how many holes are there until we take all the pictures off. So those,
But we were encouraging pictures, but on social media where you don't make holes.
Well, yeah, but after the move, there's always pictures, and
yeah, there's a lot
I-
of things left behind the
I've-
couch, whatever, that just needs sometimes just touch-up paint, and it doesn't seem like a lot until you put it all together and you realize, oh, wow, I'm going to need to make some calls and get all this scheduled at the same time you're dealing with your own move and the new house. So we try to take that away from you and
We basically take
make it
care
an
of
easier
all
process,
the,
yeah.
Yes, we take care of all the home maintenance repairs. If there's any type of field that we are not experienced in, we have a long list of contractors that we call in to help us
Qualified
finish the job.
contractors.
And we also do the carpet installation, the plumbing, any pre-existing electrical fixture replacement, and then the move-out cleaning. So we don't do general housekeeping, but the move-out cleaning
the deep stuff,
Exactly.
the deep, the
To
dust
make it
underneath
ready.
on the
and once
baseboard.
everything's gone is when you can spot all that.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
That's
So
true.
Right.
we
And
throw
so,
that in there.
who do you work with the most? Who's your point of contact for a lot of this?
Property
this work?
managers.
Property managers.
Yes.
Do you work with landlords directly as well, or mostly?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So investors who
Yeah,
are looking
exactly. Anybody who's who's like you said, investing in a home that they're just trying to just get it done, to have somebody else move in, make that process easier for them. They could just deal with APM and we'll get it done.
And of course, not just homes, but also maybe apartment complexes.
Right.
So, say the one around the corner, formerly the Archstone, those kind of folks over there.
Definitely apartments.
Okay, excellent. So, your 5-year plan, how do you plan to grow?
Absolutely. The 5-year plan is definitely getting into property management.
Yes.
So where we are the ones collecting the rent, finding the renters, doing background checks, and pretty much making life easy for the landlord. So not just the maintenance side, we want to do property management eventually and have our own in-house maintenance, so we don't have to have independent contractors come in and do the work.
And who's getting the real estate license?
I will definitely be getting into that. Yes, I was letting him know that that's next on the list.
That's next on the list. So that's a great direction, because a lot of property managers, say, okay, I need to call somebody. Well, there's you guys right there. Maintain, rent, maintain, wash and repeat.
There's a lot of power in building a team of having the entire solution. Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's important. I own a few rental properties, and I know that my property management company has a few in-house individuals out of state, but it's very helpful. It helps keep returns
down.
higher for the investors so that you don't have to outsource everything, and the time to go out and get bids. It's very time consuming, so I can imagine that also shortening time.
Right.
As well.
Absolutely. Right. That's our goal.
And of course, you guys created APM because your big why.
I definitely think our big. Would you like to go ahead?
Being in construction, I mean, it's kind of when it's busy, life is great. When it's slow, you're at home just wondering, well, what else can I do to make money? Side jobs sometimes bring in some money, but we wanted to create something to say, you know what? Let's just, instead of looking to make somebody else rich, for the most part, let's do something and create something and make our own money.
The big why that fuels me is creating a nice, solid family foundation. That way, when our boys are older, if the outside world doesn't accept them the way we do, we have gainful employment for them. And it's under their name, Ayala. It's something that they will always have to fall back on. So that's what drives me, knowing that they're going to be okay.
That's a great why.
That's big with family
That's awesome.
business. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Absolutely.
One thing that you mentioned in regards to the property maintenance, and for some reason it just fleeted my mind like 2 seconds ago. You were talking about I can't remember now. So. Within the property maintenance field, there's a lot of different things to think about. Do you do the landscaping outside part if the owners need to, or?
Well, currently we don't offer it, but however, it's definitely in the works because that is the property.
We're always open to change.
Right.
We're always open to adding new people. That's why we've been doing a lot of networking to try to meet new connections, meet other people. One of the power partners lately have been different fields that do what we don't, so that we can have a solid network.
Power of teams. I love that. That will definitely help with growth. I love to hear your big goal of kind of where you see your business in 5 years. That's important, and the why. As we talked about earlier, not forgetting what part of obviously you have your business plan and your business goals, but also that family seems to be a big value. So how do you continue to create the business model to allow time for that, to allow for their involvement, whether they want to or not? You never know. I think, but still having a family business and building team, that's going to take you a long ways, learning to leverage other people you could add in. I heard both of you say create a lot, so I can hear how you definitely have that mindset of evolving and creating more
opportunities, and that brings back to what I wanted to say
now?
earlier.
Nice.
Now I remember. You said, when things are great, it's great, but when things are low, you're trying to find a second job.
Right.
Well, when things are low, you keep networking, build your client list, keep building that client list. Even when it's great, keep building that client list. That way it snowballs into the low times, and that way you still have something to fall upon. So that's what I wanted to add.
Yeah,
Sure.
no, that's really
Absolutely.
valuable. Show the customers love.
Show the customers
in
love.
the many ways all year round, because that will maintain the bond and the relationships.
Exactly. So thank you very much for being on the show, Vanity and Alex.
Thank you.
And
Thank
we'll be taking our quick break, and our last break, and we'll be talking about upcoming events at the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce in Contra Costa.
Lots of good stuff going on.
We'll be right back.
Que aún nos falta conocer.
¿Pensando en regresar a la escuela? Descubre la gama de posibilidades que te ofrece la Universidad John F. Kennedy, que celebra 50 años de transformar vidas y comunidades.
Puedes completar tu título de licenciatura en negocios, estudios jurídicos, salud pública, periodismo y psicología, o tus estudios de posgrado. Tenemos becas y ayuda financiera para que apliques este verano y otoño. Contamos con asesores de admisión que hablan español y están disponibles para guiarle a través del proceso de tu solicitud.
Para más información visita www.jfku.edu o llame al 1-800-696-5358. ¿Necesitas asesoramiento con respecto a un caso de inmigración? Nos especializamos en todas las áreas del derecho migratorio. ¿Quieres conseguir tu estadía legal en el país? Solo hay una cosa por hacer. Llama al 415-777-4445. www.kpblawyers.com. Son tus abogados de confianza. Llama al 415-777-4445. Con oficinas en San José, San Francisco, Walnut Creek, Santa Rosa, Napa, Ucaya y Sacramento.
Are you in deportation proceedings? Do you have a friend in jail facing deportation? If the answer is yes, we will find the best avenue for you to obtain legal status in the United States. Contact Karosky, Purvis, and Bogue at 415-777-4445 or www.kpblawyers.com.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. So we've been talking about how we express love to our customers, and we find customers when we're out connecting with people, when we're out networking, and it's one of the most valuable things that you could take advantage of as a member of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And even if you're not a member, you're welcome to come and find out how we do business and how we meet each other, and provide some of those introductions and opportunities to do a lot of what we've been talking about today. So I think, Johnny, there's a lot of good stuff going on.
There's a lot of good stuff, and that kind of reminds me of when I was back in college. Someone says it's not what you know, it's who you know. I think it's still what you know a little bit, but who you know is so important in this world, especially when you're trying to, look for clients or look for even power partners. So, and the Chamber of Commerce, we're here to provide events so we can have that opportunity to meet new people. And on June 18th, we have our June Mixer, and it's going to be at JFK's Institute of Entrepreneurial Leadership location at Todos Santos Plaza. June 18th, 5:30 p.m., and it's free for our chamber members and only $10 for if you're not a member of the chamber. So please come by, and we're going to have a special guest speaker, Dr. Raul Dehu. Will be presenting opportunities for working with Hispanic entrepreneurs and tips for success for Hispanic entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I love that. I've been looking forward to that for months. If you haven't been, I'm really looking forward to hearing the speech, and it's also an amazing space. It's incredible. It's so inspiring. I posted a picture last week when I was there. They have a wall that has logos of all of the companies that have
Started
come
there.
out of the students from the Institute for Entrepreneurial Leadership, and I think, wow, that's a cool badge of honor to have that. So we hope a lot of you can make it out there. I'll be there. Johnny will be there.
I'll be there.
Hopefully, are you guys coming?
We will be there.
Good.
Great,
That's how
great.
we put people on the spot. You coming?
And they also have a resident entrepreneurship program, which provides low-cost office or cubicle space and provide private mentoring, administrative services to the local entrepreneurs right in the heart of downtown Concord.
Yeah, that was something that blew me away, that it's not just going to school, but in speaking to their director, who's amazing, Joyce, and you'll have a chance to meet her tomorrow evening when we see you there, but to have access to mentors, to business people that have been successful, built a number of businesses, and have access to that, it's an incredible opportunity. They have some great programs.
It's like you can ask Big Papa for questions on advice.
Exactly.
So that is June 18th, 5:30 at JFK on 2151 Salvio Street, suite number 350 in Concord, California. And Liz, you have a event coming up right after the next day,
so
huh?
it's exciting. JFK is a great partner. They're hosting the Mixer on June 18th, and then June 19th, so this Thursday evening, I will be hosting at their main campus location the StrengthsFinder meetup. If you got a chance to perhaps be at our Mixer in April, we did a little tidbit of strengths mixing, but it's professional and business development through strengths. So getting to know what our strengths are, how can we learn to not only apply them, but also use them as great marketing messages in our businesses. How, as individual family-owned businesses, or those of us that run our businesses ourselves, there's a lot of who you are comes out in how we do our business. So how can we apply that and bring out the best of that so we can build our teams around that. So 6 o'clock, JFK University, the main location, 100 Ellenwood Way. And you can find us on meetup.com.
I'm going to make a testimonial online because I was personally there at the Mechanics Bank mixer when you did the strengths training, and it blew me away. Taking the tests in the beginning and then just being able to interact with everybody. That was the most interactive mixer I think the Chambers had. And,
it was fun.
It was fun. It was interactive. Everybody got, walked out with their 5 strengths and said, "Oh, these are my 5.
Feeling
You want to work with me?" No.
Yeah, that's how it should be, right? Thank you, Johnny. I
You're
appreciate that very much. And it is supposed to be fun. Doing business is supposed to be fun, getting to know what we are great at, all of us. Imagine the power of introductions that we can create for each other when I know what your top 5 strengths are as business owners.
Exactly.
It definitely adds a lot to the strength of that. So not to be
Exactly.
redundant. So you're all invited. It's a free event, and it will be monthly, JFK.
At JFK on the Pleasant Hill campus in
Yes.
in Ellenwood.
Yes, on Ellenwood. So Pleasant Hill, right in between the Monument exit and Gregory or so. Yeah.
So
See you there.
see you then. And now, June 26th, we're going to head out to West County. West County,
Right.
for a lot of
Field
people, it's a field trip for us. And guess what we're doing? Speed dating. No, we're not doing speed dating. We're doing speed networking. So on June 26th at 5:15 p.m. at the San Pablo Economic Development Center. Actually, no, it's not at the San Pablo Economic Development Center. It's at Helms Community Center, 2540 Road 20 in San Pablo, June 26th, starting at 5:30. We partnered up with the San Pablo EDC, and we're going to do a speed networking. We're going to be going there. People who are planning to attend, this is free for the public and free for the members. People who plan to attend, practice your 1-minute pitch.
Right.
Do you guys have your 1 minute pitch?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you have your 1 minute?
We
I
actually
have
have some
problem.
experience in speed networking.
Oh, good.
I can honestly say it's great for first timers like myself.
Yeah.
You by the fifth person, you're kind of already built up your confidence.
Your confidence. Yeah.
And I recommend it for any first timers.
Good, good. And I would recommend bring at least 2 or 3 pitches that you want to practice on, because that way you can change it up, you can practice it, you can let people know other services that you might do within that realm of your product or service, and go from there.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
The
Fun stuff.
chamber historically hosts speed networking. Last year we were in the East County. The year before that we were in the Central County, and the attendance is going to be big. Expect to walk away at least 30 plus cars that evening.
Nice.
And what can you share about you and your strengths and what you're awesome at? Uniquely you.
Me?
Set yourself.
My strength?
All of us.
Oh, all of us. Oh,
All
yes,
of
yes,
us.
yes. I thought you were
That's
asking me a question.
a big competitive advantage we have. Yeah, I like it.
Yes, so we have a chamber member that is holding a function. Renacer is a nonprofit organization, and they're going to be talking about what is sustainable or green business and how can you profit from it while helping the planet, your community, and your employees. And the date will be June 24th. It is out in West County on 25th Street in Richmond, California. Douglas Lezameta of Renacer will be holding this presentation on how to become a green business and why it can impact the community and your business.
Awesome. It's a big thing to get even more educated about it. I mean, you hear green being a trend sometimes, but it's amazing how it can impact in your marketing and whether it's
I
good-
read an article that commercial buildings should be mostly green by the year 2016. And I'm like, wow, that's right around the corner. That's not very far from now. But I think the way, construction is going, and construction is up this year, I believe. The economy is moving. I think people are going to start thinking about improving their own operations. And part of that is being green and being socially responsible on this planet.
Yeah, have you guys heard of Blue Homes by chance?
No?
Mare Island. It's a company that moved there in the last 4 years to Vallejo. I live in Vallejo, Mare Island, and talk about green homes. They have a model home there. We'll have to take you on a tour. There's a golf course there,
Yes,
Johnny,
I've
I
golfed
think.
there, actually.
All right. A recently bought out golf course as well.
Oh,
by some
nice.
very big investors, so I think
Nice.
they'll be doing some nice things to it.
Excellent.
Green.
Look
All right.
forward. We should set up a tour that way, actually, with the chamber.
Yeah.
Why not?
That would be good.
That's awesome. We can't end the show without talking about our big event coming up on August 23rd. It's the Festival of Latin Culture. And this festival is to basically be a cultural component, cultural education through the chamber, through the business owners, to provide a education and awareness within the community. It's going to be held at the Todos Santos Park. In downtown Concord. So the large park over there's a nice play structure, but there's also a stage. And we're going to be bringing music, dance, food, a bunch of exhibitors that are going to be promoting their culture or bringing cultural awareness into the community. And it's going to be a family fun event.
I've been to a few events there, and I'm excited about this being there. I don't think I had a chance to go to the Latin Festival since it was downtown Walnut Creek, close by. So this is cool. I can totally see it playing out beautifully in Todos Santos Plaza.
If you were there downtown Walnut Creek, that was an amazing event.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're expecting larger size because we have a larger area. And the city of Concord and the mayor is gracious enough to allow us to go there, and they're going to make an appearance as well and provide a lot of content for us. We just found out Comcast is going to be our media sponsor. So
Awesome.
it's going to, this event is going to be promoted throughout through their whole Comcast station and networks. So this is going to be great. It's going to be fun. I think we're going to be expecting 3,000 plus visitors. Great for business owners to showcase their business. Great for volunteers. If you can't afford to purchase a table, volunteer and still go there and get involved and talk to people within that community. It's going to be. Yes, go Concord. So activities listed here: live salsa music and Latin music, live salsa and Latin music, Latin food, showcasing local restaurants, a children's area for activities including piñata making and other crafts, some storytelling, arts displays and sales, and the community, including ballet, folklorico, and live mariachis.
Do you need more? Have you ever made a piñata?
I have. I try to. I failed very, very, very
Well,
bad.
maybe now we can all succeed.
Yes.
It's fun. I've made both
It's a snake.
the paper mache, and then way back when, I don't know if anybody remembers out there, but my parents are from a very small town in Mexico, and their original way to make a piñata is they would use the ceramic clay water jugs.
Oh.
Those piñatas are hard to break.
Wow.
It's no joke.
That's some real strength there.
your hand bounces off, the stick bounces off on the ceramic.
Do the kids get frustrated? Where's the candy?
You gotta watch out, and then I don't know. I don't know that I'm pro how soft we've gone with no eye bands or anything, and just let them go with these soft
let 'em go.
piñatas. That should be fun. That's really fun.
So sponsorship and vendor tables are still available. So go to h5c.org for the information and sign up to either become an exhibitor or become a volunteer.
Yeah, I'm sure that the committee who's putting in a ton of work to coordinate this could use all hands on deck if you would like to help, and there's a lot of ways that you can get involved.
I don't know if this is one thing that's good to brag, but because this is a family activity, there will be no alcohol. So that's either I'm calling it a bragging right, because it's a family. I'm always geared towards family, and I like the fact that we will not be serving alcohol there.
Well,
A big
there, if
Plen-
you
there'll
if you
be
want
plenty
to
of ice cream,
yes.
so.
Plenty of ice cream
there
and
are plenty
food.
of spots. I mean, it's bringing a lot of attention to the businesses in the
Exactly.
area of the city, so you can always go have. You can always go have a beer at
Yes,
one of the bars,
one of the
stop
local
by and
local
step out. Yeah.
establishments.
Support.
Absolutely.
I'm sure they will be happy to have the business, as will be celebrating
Exactly.
in the square.
Exactly. And that's our time today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Very
guys
nice
for
having you
having
here
us.
today.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and we look forward to seeing a lot of you at the upcoming events with the
Absolutely.
chamber throughout the county, even in West County for speed networking.
Speed
Count us
networking.
in.
Awesome.
Until next time.
Hasta luego.
La vida una farsa